Hey guys, this is Killadave here, and welcome back to another episode on the single player vanilla Minecraft series. This is episode 34, and I am super excited to be recording this. Now, normally this would have been a Diamond Society episode, but since if you guys saw the last episode, I'm starting to build the giant Diamond City bank. That means that it will take me a little bit more time in between episodes to get things ready and do some progress. So that's why this episode is another single player, 2 in a row, instead of that Diamond Society. But last episode, guys, we got a awesome amount done. We went in here. Now, I did this in between episodes, so that's why this just appeared. But if we go up the staircase, we'll see what we did last episode. We built this whole sorting system and storage system for the mob drops from our mob farm. And as you can see, we just have tons of items. Now, I used the bones to do some farming, so that's why there's not a lot of those. But as you can see, everything else, we have quite a bit of it. So super awesome, guys. Super exciting to get this going. But also in the last episode, I said that we're going to change speed a little bit. So I've been building farms in just about every episode since the beginning, like building some new farm, new project, new way to get something. But what we're going to do in this one, guys, is I'm going to start like almost like a mini series within a series, and it's going to be I'm going to call it the base beautification, because I need to go around and just sort of finish off the projects. I mean, if you look, there's a lot of projects that are kind of like they're functionally done, but they don't necessarily look good. Like if we go down here, this doesn't really look good. Now this is actually missing some farms that I plan on building and I've been designing. But I mean, this one, for instance, the slime farm is still got some work it needs to be done. This farm for sure, I mean, as you can see, all the farms are in and the storage system is in down here, but it's not looking too good. Now we're getting a bunch of stuff, but it is just not looking very great. The other things that need to be done and beautified are, I mean, this is our vine farm. I might try and revamp it a little bit. It was slightly a joke when I built it, but I mean, I have been using it every once in a while to get some vines. We do need to change the floor on this, just make it a little, I don't know, come up with some design, make it look awesome. The villager trading hall is definitely something that we need to finish off because, I mean, it's functionally completely done. The villager breeders all working. All the villagers are in. It's super awesome. As you can see, I mean, all the spots are filled. It's working perfectly. There's a whole bunch of villagers back there. I think you can see the tops of their heads. So, I mean, this is awesome. We just need to get it all up and running. I mean, make it a whole lot better looking. Make it a thing. Finish it off. We need to work on the mausoleum. And we also need to finish the paths all the way over to the cactus and tree farm. And the last thing we also have to do during this mini series is go back on over to the zombie spawner that we created in quite a few episodes ago, but we never quite beautified it. It doesn't look very good, but it is functional. And then the nether hub's another thing. But guys, today I think what we're going to tackle first is this mausoleum. Now, I created this a long time ago, right before I fought the Wither, so I think that was like episode 10 or something like that. I don't know. But as you can see, it's sort of like, it's supposed to be like the crypts or something. And you go down in it, and then this is where the enchanting and potions are. Now, as you can see, it's a very functional build right now. There's nothing looks pretty. But I want to spice it up, make it look awesome. So what we have to do, guys, is first off, get the materials I want to use. I'm thinking using of some stone bricks, some other variants maybe. In between this episode and the last, I also went back to the stronghold I discovered, like episode 2 or something like that. And I got some cobwebs, so we're going to be using those. So I'm just going to get a bunch of materials gathered up, guys, and then I will bring you guys back and we will get started working on it. Okay, we are down here in the mausoleum, and if you look at my inventory, you can kind of get a feel for what kind of materials I'm going for. Mostly stone bricks, just because, I mean, I think I want it to be built out of stone, but I have the different variants just so it can, like, throw some, make it look a little disheveled, grown over. The one thing I kill this guy. You can see that in these we are making the cracked stone bricks. So that's also going to be used. But the one thing I was thinking of doing, guys, is actually making the floor out of half slabs. Now this is just because I'm thinking that I want to make it darker in here. Just, to give it like a more like spooky vibe. But the only problem I have with doing this, guys, because okay, so I want to make it darker. That's why half slabs will make it so mobs can't spawn. But the problem I have with this, guys, is then look at the floor. This is the only variant that, there's no other variants of the half slab. So I don't quite know if I like how that looks. Maybe it will look better once we start, changing these to the different ones. Let's try that out really quick. So if we grab stone bricks, mossy, grab some cracked. So I don't know, like maybe if when we start putting this in, it'll make it so it doesn't necessarily look as bad. See, I don't know. I'll keep going with this as the floor. Maybe what I was thinking maybe I could do is like, let's say I put in, well, how much does this light give off? Like nothing, right? Not enough to stop mob spawning, right? So if I go F3, light level 6, of course not. So even if I put this here, yeah, it's still light level 7. So not enough to prevent mob spawning. So that won't do. So I'm just going to, try and place these blocks around, see what it looks like, hopefully get it looking good. I'll leave this for now, see what it's like, but I might end up changing that. So I'm just going to start working on all the walls, and then I will be right back. Okay guys, I've been doing a little work down here, and I will show you guys right now what I've done. As you can see, I think it's looking pretty good. Now I didn't like it with just the stone bricks. I thought it just looked way too clean. I didn't like it. Oh, it looks like I missed some blocks over here. I'll fix those up. But I think when you throw in the stone, the cobblestone, it feels broken, it feels good. Now I'm going to do the same with the ceiling because this is also half slabs. But guys, I really like it. I like this. It almost feels like sort of like a grave, like how like you see the old like crypts like that, and they have like the little shelves where you put the people. You know what I'm talking about. So I kind of liked having those there. I haven't done anything here, but I also was planning on replacing these things, some of the stairs, with some cobblestone stairs, just to, again, give it that more broken look. And I think that will also look good, and it just makes it so it all will fit together. I like the lighting again. Like if we break this, and we break this one down here so there's no light seeping up into it, you can see it really gives it this like sort of like dark look. So I really like how it's turning out. So I think I'm just, and the cobwebs, yeah, I put some cobwebs. I think it looks good. Now I think I'm just going to continue this down all the way till here, till this hallway, and I think maybe we're going to change this part up a little bit. Just because I don't want, I want it to seem like almost like this is like feels abandoned, like it feels like it's this abandoned crypts, and you're like going down like, oh, what the heck? And then you come in here and you see, oh wow, someone's using this, like someone's lived here, someone is using this for their crazy, like incantations or whatnot. So I want this part to look a little bit cleaner, slightly different than up here. So I'm just going to continue working on this, guys. Keep replacing all these blocks, and then I will bring you right back. Okay guys, don't worry about the rain. I'm going to go back inside the mausoleum real quick, but I've been doing a little bit of work, so hopefully it looks good. Now, I decided it looked a little too clean on the outside, so I added some vines and some cobwebs on the outside. I've kind of made this more uniform, and as you go down, you can see it gets a little darker. All the blocks are placed. I really like how this is looking, guys. I also put this little like trim around the outside. I think it kind of looks cool. And then you come down here, and I still have not done this. Now, I'm thinking up a design that I think will look pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure, however, we will see how it turns out. But guys, I'm super liking this pathway, and I also have another idea for another way to get in here that doesn't involve walking along all these stairs, and I think it'll be pretty cool. So I hope you guys will like that. But I'm just going to get started on working on that room down there, and then I'll bring you guys back once I have something done, and then I'll show you what I've got. Alright, so I have done a little bit of work in this room. As you can see, I haven't really done a huge amount. You can see this whole bit of the floor, it hasn't been done. But I've done some things that I think are pretty interesting. Now, this is all being built without any pre-planning. I don't really like to pre-plan and creative and like try and make up designs. I kind of just like to, just build them and kind of go with the flow, see how it ends up, and it normally ends up pretty good. So hopefully this is one of those times. Now, as we go down here, you can see kind of what I've done. It's much more light, much more vibrant than this, and like I said earlier, I kind of want it to be like almost kind of like spooky, like with the fire, like like what weird rituals are going on down in here. Now you can see I've tried to do some interesting things with the ceiling, and one of the things I really like about this is it's got a center block. Now I had to sort of fake that because if you look here, this room is actually even. So as you can see, these are too wide, but there is a center block. Now how I was able to do that is with stairs. You can see these are actually stairs facing together. So in order to like do that, like accentuate that a little bit more, I did things like this, where I have like this block, like center block of columns going out each side, and I think it just adds this cool effect. As you can see, I had to put 2 enchanting tables here to make it even on either side. But I think it really adds a sort of cool effect to it. So I really like how the ceiling's turning out, and I kind of like how this middle bit is sort of like holding up the entire building. Now I really, really wish I could make this one taller and have it like not be as big on the top as it is. But I mean, unfortunately with stairs, there's no way to do that without, because I can't put a block in between these if I put some up here, because there's no way to put a block on the corner of 4 blocks. So that's what we're going with right now. As you can see, I have done the enchanting area, and I had to put a whole bunch of books just to make sure that I could get the 30 levels, so the 15 books to affect a single one. I also added a few chests here with some hidden lighting. You can see there's some glowstone underneath there. That's just to give it some light without having to put anything anywhere. But these chests, I'll put stuff like lapis in it, just so I don't, and maybe some like dummy armor or whatever, just so I don't have to always bring that down when I get the enchanting done. But as you can see, guys, the next 2 things, I'm thinking of like digging it out like that, like I've done for each of these, and I'm thinking one of these will be the nether wart, and then the other one will be the potion brewing area. So I'm just gonna go get working on that, try and see if I can figure out a nice floor design. I kind of like what I've done with the ceilings. As you can see, there's a little bit I still have to do, but I think I like how it's turning out. Definitely let me know what you think, except hold out just for a little bit, because I'm gonna add more to it, and probably in the next clip I'll be almost done with the entire thing. So but I really want your guys' opinions. I want to know what you guys think, because I think it's really interesting how I was able to do this, and I think it looks cool. So I'm just going to continue building, keep adding to it, guys, and then I will bring you guys back. Okay, guys, we are here on the outside of the mausoleum, and as you can see, all the vines have grown, and I think it's looking really good. I really like how it's going. I will towards the end of this episode, do a little bit in this like little graveyard area, but for right now, guys, I just want to show you the inside. I'm pretty proud of it. I think it turned out really well. So I'm just gonna bring you guys down, and we're gonna check it out real quick. So if we come down here, you'll see, I mean, you already seen all this. It's all cracked. Kind of looks like the crypts. The vines are growing. I really like how the vines have grown. I actually, super on accident, I thought this vine was going to grow all the way down, but then I realized this torch is here. So I really like how that just hangs there. Super cool. But then when we go down here, guys, I think it turned out really well. So as you can see, boom, it all of a sudden brightens up. Here's the center you saw. And I think when you came, it was just this. But as you can see, we got our anvils in here now. We got all this. I actually was going to leave these books here just so in case I need to do some dummy enchants. But you can see we did some more of this like little block bit where like the block is in the center. I think it turned out really nice. Here is the potion area. As you can see, we have the water, and now this is actually, so if you don't know, when you take water out of a cauldron with a water bottle, it actually lowers the water level. So I did put these like sneaky little water sources here so we don't have to actually deal with that. As you can see, we have all of these so we can brew up a whole bunch, and then we have 2 chests just so we can store the stuff. Now over here, this is my where the netherwart's going to be growing. I think it's kind of cool how it's like this like almost like stadium seating kind of thing. And I just, put some black stained glass over some glowstone. It kind of gives it that like nethery feel. I think it really turned out great. I mean, all we have to do, guys, all that's left is to plant all this, which should not be too hard, and it should be really quick. So we just throw all this down. This will mean this entire room is finished, and I actually really like how it turned out. Please let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments section. I mean, this is one of like the first times I went into like a detailed build on this series so far, so I think it turned out really well. I'd love to hear from you guys on it. But here's the room one more time. Here's the ceiling. It was a lot of like little stairs. Brought some nether brick into it, but I think it turned out really well. I might end up digging a little bit of this out later, and you'll see why. But otherwise, guys, I think it turned out really good. I really like how this whole area turned out. I think it adds a lot better than just a stone room that we had before. But guys, now what I have to do is come back up here and just finish off the outside of this build. So here I'm going to change up this floor a little bit and then add a whole bunch more here. So I'm going to do that really quickly, guys. I'll bring you guys back and show you guys what I've done. Okay, guys, as you can see, I have done a little bit of work out here, and it definitely feels more like a graveyard. You can see I've dug these little paths. It's got the cobwebs, it's got the long grass. It kind of feels like it's been overgrown. No one's been taking care of it in a while. Wait, yeah. There's the little flowers growing everywhere. You guys have seen this mausoleum, and now you might be wondering, oh, what's so special about this gravestone? If you step here, you fall in, land on hay, so you don't take any damage, and then eventually this grass will grow, and I'll put some bone meal on it. But this is sort of like this like overgrown, dirty tunnel that when you run through it, you end up here into the base, into the little mausoleum crypt area that we just built. So I think that's super awesome. All of our netherwart has almost grown. Super awesome, guys. I really like how this has all turned out. I think it's really cool, and I like that little secret entrance. It's just a little quicker way to get down. I mean, it feels pretty nice and hidden. I think it fits well. But guys, that is all the time I have for today's episode. So there you go. Just took the thumbnail screenshot. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like on this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe if you're not already, so you can be updated when I upload. And guys, really, I want some feedback on this room. I think it turned out really, if anything, just give a thumbs up for me being able to back all the way through that. I thought that was pretty good. But please give me some feedback on this room. I really like how it turned out. I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's the first really detailed room we've done in this world, in the single player series I've been doing. So leave some feedback. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. If we look through here, guys, you can see we're just going to briefly look through all the chests, and you will see that the items that are supposed to be in the marked chests are there, and no other items are in any of the other chests. So everything is working super well. Again, like I said, when I get enough glowstone, it will start filling it in.